The purpose of this podcast is to educate and inform. It is no substitute for professional care by your doctor or your qualified healthcare professional. Never disregard or delay professional medical advice because of something you've heard on this podcast or in any linked material. Guests who speak on this podcast express their own opinions, experience, and conclusions. Dr. Shirley neither endorses nor opposes any particular opinion discussed on this podcast. The views expressed on this podcast have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, practice, institution, or other entity with which Dr. Shirley may be affiliated.
Welcome to Forever Fab, the podcast on fashion, the art of living, and all things beauty. This podcast is curated by Dr. Shirley Madhere, MD, as the definitive source of holistic wellness through beauty.
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Shirley. Welcome to 15 Minutes of FAB, a segment of the Forever Fab podcast, where I summarize the latest health, wellness, beauty, and plastic surgery news. This annual report is called the FAB Trend Report, and it highlights my opinions as well as my research on the hottest trends in fashion, wellness, and beauty for the new year that is already upon us. If you don't have time to tune into my full-length podcast, tune in and check out 15 Minutes of FAB. My aim is to engage you and serve as a credible and authoritative voice in all aspects of health, wellness, and beauty, and along all aspects of the beauty spectrum, from lip gloss to the needle and injectables, and yes, to the scalpel. So, let's get at it. 2021 trends in beauty. According to me and my research, they are the first one, increased telehealth and telemedicine calls and consultations. I was aware, obviously, of telehealth and telemedicine for years, but it wasn't until this past year that I actually got involved in it. And it was very interesting. It was definitely a mind shift for me because I'm so used to seeing patients in an office and speaking with them and seeing with them and being able to physically examine them. So the telemedicine and telehealth consultations for me were a bit of an adjustment because I couldn't do the things I normally did. But they definitely required me to up my game and my perceptions and my communication skills across a distance and digitally. So I think they are actually here to stay. And thankfully, I do have patients coming to the office more and more, but I still think that with the uncertainty that's still out there, patients will still sometimes gravitate to telehealth or telemedicine consultation or even a follow-up. And I think that's a good thing. The second trend, I believe there will be more targeted and more effective skincare products to come. And these will have ingredients that are specifically made to combat acne, dry skin, fine lines, and wrinkles. So I think the products that are going to be coming out there, you'll be able to sort of more precisely select which ones that you need for whatever issue that you're experiencing. And that product will be specifically formulated for that issue. And there are already a number of products, obviously a plethora of products already out there, but I just think that this sort of super specialization will continue. Along similar lines, a third trend, for obvious reasons, is that I think there will be some skincare brands that will focus on having antimicrobial action, right? There were the probiotic skincares of the past couple of years, but I think this year specifically, it might be about, reducing nastiness and making sure that whatever you use has antimicrobial activity. In addition to helping you to be pretty, it will also help to protect your skin. The fourth trend, do-it-yourself beauty. We've seen this all over social media, but not just do-it-yourself by individuals and I guess non-professionals, although talented, but non-professionals, but do-it-yourself beauty that's customized to the client's preferences. And I think there will be a number of skincare brands that are going to come out that will, whether through questionnaires or through some kind of skin sampling or DNA saliva testing, whatever the case may be, I do think that beauty will become much more customized in the future. A fifth trend, there will be an influx of beauty devices. I personally experimented with more than a handful of beauty devices this past year. And of course, they're all works in progress and they continue to improve and they'll just get better and better. But I know for sure that various technologies will emerge on the market, including new microcurrent devices, new infusion devices, exfoliation devices, ultrasound, and devices that combine two or more technologies. Very exciting. A sixth trend, and one that I'm excited about, but I kind of also want to say, I told you so about. And this is a meeting of the minds. Some experts are predicting that there's going to be a convergence or more of a coming together of healthcare and wellness, and that healthcare and wellness will not necessarily become synonymous, but that there'll be more holistic approaches to being medically well. And that is something that I believe I have been touting for decades. So I'm glad to see it not only in print, but that it actually made it as one of the top 10 trends in 2021. The next trend, number 7 in beauty, is a focus on sustainability of beauty ingredients. And not just the ingredients, but also of packaging and sourcing. There'll be a focus on preserving the beauty of the earth. Here we are using products to help keep us beautiful, but sometimes we forget about preserving the beauty of the earth. And that's going to be, bilateral, meaning it will not just be on the end of the creator and the manufacturer and the product developer, but also a more educated consumer is going to start demanding it. An 8th trend, using injectables or getting injectables for prevention. Now, clearly in my plastic surgery practice, I have seen this quite a bit, but I think this trend will continue to increase. There are going to be new neuromodulators coming on the market. So Botox is, even though it's the grand dam of neuromodulators, there are more that are coming. And there will also be longer lasting fillers coming to the market. So now physicians will have an even greater armamentarium to be able to do combination therapies and to really be specific and targeted about what lines and wrinkles and that we want to not only improve, but to prevent. So that's also very exciting. A 9th trend in beauty, I think there's going to be a rebound in cosmetic plastic surgery, like actual operations. And I don't know if people are calling it the Zoom effect or, just all the stress and the worry and the anxiety is taking a toll on the skin and the laxity of the skin and aging in general. I do think that when people feel more comfortable and safe and have disposable income, if there is such thing as disposable, I don't think any income is disposable, but you know what I mean? Have a little extra something to go around. I think there will be an increase in requests for nose reshaping or rhinoplasty, facelift, neck lift, and maybe even body contouring liposuction. Yeah, but there will definitely be a rebound in plastic surgery operations and procedures. Yes. A 10th trend related to plastic surgery. I have always been an advocate of the natural look, but I think that implant size is going to decrease for a more natural look, right? Over the past 9 months, if you've been at home and you haven't really been creating those types of videos, then perhaps you considered, do I really need this size if you have them? Or and if you don't, maybe you considered getting them, but maybe not as large as you had initially thought. So I do think that implant sizes are going to decrease overall, and we'll see. An 11th trend, I think there will be an emphasis on scalp and hair health. I think that the stress and the anxiety and the worry and the uncertainty of this past year on many levels, any arenas, health, politics, finances, business. I think that took a toll on a number of systems in the body. And a lot of people I know and I read were experiencing significant hair loss. So I think now that the new year is here, we have hope. Politics will change, hopefully for the better. There are vaccines out there. We are gaining some perspective. I think that there will be a continued focus on scalp health and hair health and overall health and wellness in general, which of course is part of the formula for beauty. So that's my take on the beauty trends to look out for 2021. How did you keep your skin fresh and flawless this past year? And I know you were wearing a mask. Did you experience skin irritation or acne from your face mask? And if you did, what'd you do about it? What's in your beauty cabinet now that won't be there this new year? And what wasn't in your beauty cabinet last year that you will add to your beauty regimen this year? And have you ever had cosmetic facial injections, whether Botox, Xeomin, Dysport, fillers? And are you willing to try them? Were you ever able to get to the hair salon in the past few months if you go to a hair salon? And if not, how did you care for your hair at home? Did it grow? Did you experience shedding or hair loss? And what did you do about it? And how will you define your best version of yourself in 2021? What is your prescription for healthful beauty? I'd like to know. And here we are at the start of a new year with much to reflect upon, contemplate, be grateful for, and look forward to. I thank you so much for listening to the FAB Trend Report on beauty on this Forever Fab podcast. I look forward to sharing new episodes with you in the new year and to some exciting interviews. As always, stay fabulous inside and out.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Forever Fab, the podcast on fashion, the art of living, and all things beauty, curated by Dr. Shirley Madhere, MD. Live beautifully and help make the world a more beautiful place.